Welcome to Your Infinite Health. Are you getting older?
Are you feeling it?
How would you like to do that in reverse?
We're your host,
Dr. Tripp
and Lenae.
We've run an integrative medicine practice for 13 years.
Together, we have 60 years of combined experience helping clients.
We've helped tens of thousands achieve success in health and live longer, happier lives.
In this show, we'll cover peer-reviewed and evidence-based integrative approaches to creating the health you've always wanted.
We also share professional experience we see in the field every day.
So if you're ready to feel, look, and live your best life, you're in the right place.
Welcome to Your Infinite Health podcast.
Hey, Tripp.
Hey, Lenae.
So I know it's a little after New Year's, but I thought the topic of resolutions or intentions or goal setting, it's kind of what everybody talks about in January, and then they get over it by the time Mardi Gras rolls around because Mardi Gras is a resolution disruptor. But I thought we could still add our 2 cents in. But before we do, I have a joke.
No.
I do. It's a little late, but I think it's still funny. So I don't know if you know this or not, but some astronauts wanted to have a New Year's party on the moon.
Really?
Yeah. Problem is they didn't plan it in time.
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun. By the way, I was listening to the latest episode of Smartless, and I can neither confirm nor deny that they have started doing dad jokes because of me.
I'm sure.
Anyway, theirs are about as punny as mine are. Aha. Okay, so resolutions, intentions. Did you make any? Do you make New Year's resolutions?
I haven't. No.
Did you ever make New Year's resolutions?
I can't recall that I ever have.
You just never bought in. I used to make them, but I don't know. I have my ADHD.
Oh, I did one.
What was?
Well, maybe it was one, but it actually started after New Year's. It's when I quit smoking.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God. Because, there's nothing more hypocritical than a medical professional that smokes. That drives me nuts. Because you drive by the hospital and see all those smoker workers standing out the back door. Like, stop. Just stop. Go into something else. Or give up smoking.
Coming in the door.
Duh, it's like, this doesn't apply to me. Okay, anyway, I'm ranting. I used to make resolutions. I feel like I'm making goals moment to moment. Like in any new moment or every day is like an opportunity to set a goal. Generally, mine are productivity driven because I'm a productivity crazy person. But, in Infinite Health, we encourage our patient partners to make health resolutions, health intentions. And I actually like that word intention better. I think resolution's gotten a bad rap, but intention, like there's some gumption, some energy when you set an intention. I think there's something innately more resolute, like you intend to, so you will.
Right.
You think?
Absolutely.
So I've never really gotten into vision boards so much as I have intention boards.
Right,
for
because
that reason.
There's a force, there's a power behind intention. Whereas resolution seems more as something that is being imposed, and that you're maybe more subject to than actually.
I begrudgingly resolved to keep my room clean this year.
Right, there you go.
Not.
Are you talking to me?
Hint, hint. So in that vein, and this generally applies to current patient partners that, have that renewed energy and maybe have slid off their successful health, what's the word I'm looking for, regimen over the holidays and need to renew that with new vigor, or for prospective new patients that are coming in. Like, off the bat, we start them off on, here's the word vision, creating the vision.
Right.
So you do start with the vision.
That imagination thing that has to take place.
Is it a Bible verse? Without a vision, the people will perish, or something.
Right. And I like the imagination thing because of Einstein's quote. Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming events, and that in and of itself, using that imagination to create just an awesome outcome for your health is really where it's at. And I think that's you have to be successful in achieving an outcome. You have to have that imagination for yourself and believe in beyond what you're creating in the moment.
Right, but you can't just hang out in daydream land. I mean, it may start there, but you better not be staying there. Dreamers don't.
Well,
there's
yeah,
a
but
saying
that's
about that.
that's about the power of creating goals, right?
Mhm.
You create the goal. The goal is created very much by that powerful intention and the willingness to do what you have to do to get to that end point. And if you don't have that willingness, then it's basic fantasy and it stays fantasy. But when you willingly accept the end point and say, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to achieve this end point, then it becomes truly a goal that you can accomplish and you will accomplish.
Right. So, just for the listener that may not know, when a patient partner comes into Infinite Health, their thought processes are redirected, right? Because and I've said this 1,000 times. Patients come in because they're reacting to something they don't want, so they know what they don't want.
Exactly.
But how many patients come in and they know what they want? Like, how many times has somebody come in and they're like, I want to feel like I did and look like I did when I was 18. I want to.
I want to have a body composition of 18% or 15%.
Yeah, how many times do you hear that?
Never. Virtually never. I think maybe once or twice in the last decade.
Yeah. I mean, although here lately you have had some guys come in and go, I want this, do whatever you do.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
But getting back, so when that patient comes in and they're like, I don't want this and I don't want that, what are they actually creating when they're saying that? They're actually creating what it is they don't want because that's where their focus is.
Right. Their focus is on the thing that they don't want all the time. So it never leaves. And it creates basically an obstruction to a happy endpoint. As far as I'm concerned, because you're saying, well, I don't want this, but you're leaving basically you're leaving your desires in the void. There's no affirmation to what you actually do desire, so you can't drive yourself towards it. It's so that's the conundrum of saying, well, I don't want this anymore, because you don't actually establish something that your mind can go to work on and actually say, well, you need to try this or you need to try that, or at least take a chance on this, so that you can achieve that outcome that you desire, because you haven't established a desired endpoint.
Okay, so somebody comes in, they say, I don't want to be fat anymore. I'm tired of being obese. What do you do with that person?
Well, you have to tell them not to be thinking,
oh, yeah, well,
trim and fit. I want to be trim and fit.
Right. So the point is, you start shifting their language and their thought process to what it is they do want. And I think you have a pretty practical tool for someone who is wanting to do that. Can you share that with the listeners?
Well, I mean, the successful health image is that thing that we establish in the, I give it as kind of homework. I define it help them define it and assess what they want to achieve in that first visit. And then the second visit, we review what their effort has been to actually create that successful health image.
How does one create you are not working with me here. What is the practical exercise that someone can do to create their successful health image? Form, feeling, function, ring a bell to you. Can you walk somebody through that process so they can do it in their home?
Oh, right. So form. So yeah, the practical exercise, a little sheet that we give is.
But it's actually in the book, listener interrupting.
Oh, right.
This exercise you can do wherever you are. It's at the end of the first chapter of Think and Live Longer, available on Amazon in whatever country you're in. Okay, go ahead.
So it's divided into to facilitate the thought process, and I divided it into three categories: form, feeling, and function. And form is basically what the desired appearance outcome is, and that appearance is not, I don't want to be, I don't want my waist to be 45 inches anymore. It's making the statement that the new individual that you're creating would say where they are. So basically, if a dimension is a really good thing. Measurements are great things because they give an objective and those objective endpoints are really great because the little critic that's always in our ear telling us we'll not achieve that or refocus on our adverse actual health is basically shut up because of the when you reach that endpoint, say my waist is 32 inches or 30 inches, that endpoint when it's achieved is cause for celebration. You celebrate that happy endpoint, and the critic, your mini me that's in there talking to you most of the time, has nothing more to say. And so objective endpoints for the appearance, and that can go for anything that is outwardly visible. So physique, skin, hair, all of those things. So making it an affirmative statement about the quality of the endpoint that the new you is going to achieve is really, really important. And so that's form. Feeling is basically I am statements about the things that you want in your character and that you want and how you feel about your interactions with yourself and the world around you. And that can be very motivating to say take some challenging personality traits that may have resulted from exposure to family members and things like that when you were growing up to saying, well, I'm disciplined, for example, or I'm organized. Those types of things. Maybe people have challenges, and then as you affirm that you are what you have become, then those things tend to happen simply because your mind goes to work to help you achieve those. And so our health originating 80% of our health originates, or even more, originates from the way we think and the way we choose our make our lifetime decisions. So having that mindful component work for you is really, really important. And then the last section on the exercise is function. What does your body do for you? So all of those areas where maybe your body's not functioning well, either physiologically or just maybe you're having pain when you walk. Those types of things are resolved in the new you and by medical technology and what we can achieve these days with biotech is sometimes amazing. Some of the outcomes that we can have and can be achieved, and a lot of people aren't really aware of those things. So it's really neat to help people blow outside their box, go outside their box, and think of outcomes that are really difficult, maybe for them in the moment, and have been for maybe a few years, and then to think outside the box of where they are is sometimes really challenging to think about the resolution and how you would behave functionally with the resolution of those challenges. And seeing them actually happen is even more gratifying in my book. So, and I'm seeing that on a regular basis with people that plan and look at this, take this exercise to heart, and then really commit to achieving those outcomes with effort on their part more than me. Really, I help by getting things working better and encouraging them and um, keeping them focused on those outcomes they desire, and they do the work, and it's the outcomes are really sometimes incredible.
So, in that vein, I think it's also important for somebody who is trying to transform their health or whatever it is in their life to surround themselves with in an environment and around people that actually support and encourage. Like, you got to set yourself up for success. So I think from the health perspective, you could kind of go into the medical mastermind, but like an easy tool is to, donate all the junk food to somebody you don't love. Send your junk food to your enemies.
You laugh, but I've had that happen.
Oh,
like, really?
Really?
Uh-huh. So I establish, for example, a nutritional lifestyle that would be beneficial for a patient. And sometimes they have so much stuff that they give it to a family member a neighbor or something, and it's telling me, well, that's a good thing, but
It's
what's
not good enough for you, but it's good enough for somebody you don't love. So give them all the
take
sugar.
take this stuff that's killing me.
Yeah, so creating an environment that's actually going to support you, I think, is also a very important step. And then surrounding yourself with people that inspire you and motivate you and also keep you accountable. I think a lot of people they don't like that word accountability, but
Right.
it's I think that's what sets successful people apart from people who maybe are not as successful as they wish they were. I mean, if you think about it, some of the most brilliant minds, the wealthiest people, like they surround themselves with people that are going to stretch them and help them grow and hold them accountable. I think that's also very important. And so for you, you talk about the medical mastermind as a component of a supportive environment. You want to go into that?
Yeah, that's the medical mastermind is primarily in my mind is the creation of the individual that's looking to achieve a better outcome for themselves. So in that vein, one of the primary individuals involved in that would be the physician that's helping them achieve that outcome. So somebody who has bad diabetes, blood pressure issues, maybe even cardiovascular disease and those things, they need to surround themselves with people who help them be accountable and focus on the resolution of their metabolic problems, which I see day in and day out can happen very easily and or relatively easily for me, maybe not as easily for the patient, but as they are surrounded by those people who are encouraging other practitioners and associated healthcare workers, those individuals are critically important to maintain the spirit and the motivation of the patient. So, seeing a physician or a healthcare practitioner, for example, that not does not support or motivate the individual in the way that they need to be motivated, then doesn't serve them. So in that setting, the individual needs to be reconsidering, well, if this individual is really not helping me get to the point, if the way they work doesn't get me to the point to where I'm really motivated to achieve what I want, then I need to find the right people who are and the right practitioners who are willing to do that. So really critical to surround yourself with with those practitioners and healthcare assistants, so to speak, that will motivate, hold you accountable, and really help you get to that endpoint by whatever means needs to be taken. And it is the responsibility of the individual. It's not the responsibility of the healthcare provider to provide everything. I mean, the individuals need to in a sense uh, be accessories that enhance, not accessories that demotivate. I think that's a critical perspective that many people. I've had many patients come in and because of that very thing, their physicians were nihilistic and not motivating them and not really focusing on what they wanted to, and give them a medication for this or that or the other, and don't delve into the other potentials that are out there to help them actually resolve the medical challenges that they have.
Yeah. I think the final point is a person really needs to be able or willing to invest their resources into achieving their intentions, whether that's time, financial, like you have to give.
Effort. It's
Yeah,
the
the
effort that
effort.
they put in.
Yeah.
And I've had a number of patients recently come in and with that motivation and with that mindset that they're going to do whatever it takes, both in participating, giving of their time, their mental efforts, learning, and those things. Now, it's not always just money and that, but it's really a devotion to really focusing on resolution of the problems, but actually creating that new individual that can actually achieve all the things that.
So I think we made some pretty good points.
I think
I
so.
think we gave a practical exercise.
Is that a practical exercise?
Well, the form filling function,
Form
actually.
filling function.
Creating your successful health image, step one.
Keeping in mind the medical mastermind.
Right. Surrounding yourself in an environment that actually supports you and helps you get to where you want to go. Step two. And investing your time, energy, and resources into what you say you want to achieve. It's your party. It's your year. It's your party. So show up for yourself.
Awareness, those people that help maintain that awareness of where you were, where you're going, and what that's going to mean when you get there. I think that's a kind of a critical aspect of the partnership that needs to be developed between the patient and or the individual and whoever their healthcare infrastructure is.
Cool. Well, listener, I hope you found this educational, informational, inspirational, somewhat entertaining. I think the book would be a great compendium, Think and Live Longer, to whatever it is you are going to achieve in 2024. And until next time.
Thanks for subscribing to Your Infinite Health. I'm Dr. Tripp.
And I'm Lenae. Until next time, feel it, look it, and live it.